Main event continues, ladies and gentlemen. Rasslemania opponents turned into teammates tonight. Cena and Rock against Hogan and Austin, and we both of the Platinum Age, we both have to wonder how are Austin and Hogan going to be able to get along after what we've seen?
I mean, from what we've seen, it seems like that they won't survive the end of this match. I've got to give it up to The Rock and John Cena. The two of them somehow, someway, have decided at the same time that they were going to at least get along for the remainder of this match. You haven't seen any like real problems between the two of them. But when it comes to Hogan and Austin, the two of them have been constantly blind tagging each other in. I mean, it's just a really weird thing to see.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Attitude adjustment on to Hogan, but Hogan is not the legal man.
Austin is, and now Austin makes his way into the ring. I don't know if Cena, I'm not sure if Cena was aware who the legal man was. When you've seen Austin and Hogan constantly running into the ring to save each other, it's hard to tell who the legal man is when things like that happen. When you don't stay in your corner, it makes it harder for the opponents to see, which, you know, could be a strategy.
That's very true. It could be a wise and clever strategy from Hogan and Austin, but it doesn't look likely with just how these men have been acting toward each other.
I mean, you and I have proven in our actions that in order for a tag team to be successful, in order for a tag team's plans to go through, you've got to have unity. You know, when two people team up, they've got to be on the same page. They've got to have the same goal, and Hogan and Austin just aren't showing that right now.
1, 2. Speaking of which, we definitely proved that. Nonetheless, after like what 5,000 finishers on CM CJ Wizard, excuse me.
That's right. I mean,
Speaking of CJ Wizard, I think he might want to take the phenomenal thing off the front of his name, because the only phenomenal person or persons on DCO are me and my boy Meow Meow.
That's absolutely correct.
Cena now.
Cena setting up that vintage 5-knuckle shuffle.
As Michael Cole would put it, that's vintage John Cena!
And I gotta say, I'm really surprised, you know, with as much as Cena has really turned on the fans as of late. I mean, they're really getting behind him. I mean, it could be because he's teaming up with The Rock. Who knows? But the fans are cheering him for once.
It could also be because of the fact that Mr. McMahon has just been getting on John Cena's nerves. We saw last time on Raw, Cena and McMahon, they were at odds against each other. Cena believed he wanted to just fight as the champ. He wanted to be all about wrestling instead of being all about, you know, just screw jobs and throwing people under the bus and everything that the corporate cabinet was about before we see it as it is today. And, well, the cracks are starting to show in that group, and we don't need to explain it any further, so I got to commend John Cena for trying to start his path on the higher road.
I mean, that's absolutely correct. And I mean, even Mr. McMahon, when making this match official, he said to Cena, you know, I mean, if you decide to end this, if you decide to leave the group, you know, that'll be your decision. I mean, it's something that you don't usually hear from, you know, Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon usually is the kind of guy that says, you're either with me or you're against me, and if you're against me, your life is going to be a living hell. And so it was
That's right, don't cross the boss.
It was an interesting thing to hear. I mean, there's almost a mutual respect between the two, regardless of the decision that Cena makes, but I mean, the fans maybe are trying to help Cena make that decision.
With The Rock on his side, he might make that decision, but nonetheless, there is some sort of disrespect between Rock and Cena. Cena believes The Rock turned his back on wrestling and decided to ditch the wrestling ring for Hollywood, that is a valid point you have to bring up between John Cena and The Rock. John Cena has decided that he is going to be a wrestler. Sure, he's had some acting opportunities here and there, but Cena has more or less stayed true to where he's come from, and that was the wrestling ring.
That's right, and then as you can see, that dissension once again. Austin forced tagging Hogan, and not only does is Hogan forced out of the ring, but he's knocked off the apron, which I think happened from knockdown by Austin or something. Maybe I didn't see it completely, but I mean you may have seen Austin take a shot at Hogan while he tried to exit the ring.
Pretty sure he did as well. Cena with another 5-knuckle shuffle as Hogan gets knocked down by Rock.
Cena has really proved himself in this match. I mean, and what's interesting is that The Rock has more or less let him. You know, The Rock hasn't tried to steal the spotlight in any way. But
Austin right up to his feet
and
stunner.
Oh my God! There's a stunner by the Texas Rattlesnake.
Cena had the match won with that last attitude adjustment, but Austin quickly sprang up to his feet.
I think Austin wants a tag, but Hogan won't let him tag in.
Hogan is not listening to Austin's demands.
You know,
Austin,
wait a minute.
Just gotta wonder what the hell's going on. What the?
I think that we've finally seen the end of this descent. I mean, what is?
Oh, here they go. They're brawling on the outside.
What is going to happen? Wait, now they're attacking each other?
Hogan and Austin have had enough of each other. A pile driver!
Pile driver.
God, on that concrete floor.
And with that
there's very little padding right there, so that's got to hurt.
And we already know Austin has had, neck injuries in the past due to, Hogan is aware of that, and now he's forcing him back into the ring. This is exactly what we talked about, Hogan and Austin have, throughout this entire match, been forcing themselves into the match, and I guess Hogan is now saying that his time in the ring is done, that Austin needs to finally do something about this match, and looks like he's doing it.
Hogan trying to lay, Austin, trying to lay a can of whoop ass on The Rock by himself, but I don't think Hogan wants to let him do it. Oh, wait a minute,
what is
Rock
this?
is up to his feet.
Wait a minute, a stunner to the stunner from The Rock.
1, 2, 3.
Hogan is leaving. Hogan is walking up the ramp. He left Austin and this is exactly what I talked about. You could see it throughout the match as they were fighting in the match. They were constantly on different pages of the match, and Hogan finally
dissension in the ranks.
And this is what I said about what I would do. I mean, if you can win the match, then that's great, but at some point you've got to decide, what is more important? Is it winning the match, or is it, walking
out? Wait a minute! Rock and Cena now finally with the match over, have time to focus on each other. All hell is breaking loose.
That's right.
Between the number 1 contender and the champion.
They are no longer tag team partners, and so now they are going to give each other hell. The Rock has been... The Rock with that clothesline.
Rock is going right on the attack.
Taunting. What is... trading punches.
Laying the smackdown on John Cena's candy ass.
Wait a minute, here it is.
And the millions and millions of The Rock's fans stand up after that punch.
Everyone, of course, cheering for The Rock. The Rock looking to make a stand, looking to prove a point to John Cena that he is still the great one. And it looks like he's proving that John Cena does have a lot to work on. He has a huge task ahead of him for Rasslemania. Perhaps John Cena's biggest opponent.
No, it is John Cena's biggest opponent. No question about it. This is John Cena's biggest test to date.
Wait a minute. Are you?
Oh, wait. What? No. Now The Rock is... Yes, he is. He's doing Cena's old five-knuckle shuffle.
Taking a page out of Cena's playbook. This is a huge blow to his... I mean, this has got to be...
Oh, wait a minute. This is going to be a blow. Rock is doing Cena's own attitude adjustment.
The Rock just...
Oh, and he's setting up.
Taking off that elbow pad. Tossing it our way.
That elbow pad got this most electrifying move in sports entertainment. Here it comes, folks. The People's Elbow. The Rock laying into SmackDown early, sending a message to John Cena. John Cena has a tough test ahead of him. The Rock ready to become the WEDF champion.
For WEDF Raw, this is the Platinum Age.
Oshie Jackson, Matt Eichhorn, we'll fucking see you whenever. CJ Wizard sucks.
Suspect, I got your number.